to get together heart to heart. We have to open ourselves and realize that our hearts speak a language that we have to grow familiar with in order to actually experience the communication. We're so used to listening to the chatter in our heads that we've come to believe that that's the way our heart communicates also. But do realize that with every heartbeat, there is always a vibration of energy that contains the information of our soul, the chaos of our lives, and the meaning of our living. This, our heart, pulses to every cell of our body. We all know we have a brain, or at least we hope we do. Sometimes it's a question. But then again, if we look, we see that our brain really, it's put there to help us to negotiate. Whereas our heart, it's there to help us to accept and find meaning in life. I like the concept that being the original design of the brain is to negotiate, that has turned into a big mess with the arrival of ego. Now, if ego were to listen to the heart and gain a sense of balance and perspective, then it would operate differently in helping us to negotiate. Whereas the way it is right now, our hijacked brain gets all caught up in itself and gets carried away because it follows a dominator model, because it tries to control, it tries to master, it tries to subdue, it tries to conquer. And all of this because it feels so terribly insecure. Whereas our heart follows a completely different model altogether. It's a partnership model. Our heart is there to respect and to cooperate. It has an openness and a harmony as its intention. And do realize that our hearts are always connecting with other hearts. Our hearts love to connect with other hearts. But because the brain is there and interferes as it does, life looked at this and said, there's an outside chance this is going to happen. And because the brain is going to dominate the heart, I'm going to put in a feature in life to where it will be a leveler. And I'm going to call this feature the trickster. In Native American philosophy, we know the trickster as a coyote, because the coyote is there to help us to learn regardless of our willingness to learn. It's also there to help humble the brain to where the heart can then perhaps be heard, because the brain no longer is operating at such an overwhelming mode. My heart tells me that it loves connecting. It loves nurturing and the experience of nurturing. And it loves to integrate all of my cellular memories to create who I am, to create what I need, and to create what I have to give. When I give from my heart, I am living my giving. When I give from my head, I'm trying to make you be somebody you may or may not be willing to be. Often it is when we feel a heart-to-heart connection with someone else and we term it love. We're in essence saying, I feel so connected to you. You give me strength. Without you, I am not complete. These are true heart expressions of a connectedness. It's difficult for the brain to fathom. Where's the one-upmanship in this? How can I take advantage of this? Whereas the heart realizes there's a difference, a very big difference. The brain in itself would prefer to be in charge of. But the heart knows that it alone cannot be the mind, but rather it is a combination of the heart, the body, and the brain that forms a mind, of which the heart is a key part. Our concept of love usually is brain-oriented. The brain is looking for a romantic occurrence to happen. And that has nothing to do with heart awareness. Heart awareness is really the concept of love of an energetic, informational, spiritual event. So that when you feel that connection with someone else, you oftentimes feel the spiritualness of it as if it's some kind of an aura or a glow that's alive in the connection that's being made. You may be asking yourself, well, this sounds good, but I honestly haven't learned to listen to my heart well enough to hear these things being spoken. I would encourage you to allow yourself to feel as the means of communication, instead of looking for words to appear in your brain. How do you tell if someone has learned to tap into the energy and wisdom of the heart? Look for someone who has been in a loving relationship for a very long time and who can laugh very easily, who can laugh often, and who can laugh hard with their lover. You see, the heart truly has a sense of humor. That is a very powerful leveler that helps the brain from being so caught up in itself. It's an interesting thing, but put in another way that has a little humor to it. When the brain plans, God laughs. So if you find that you put all of this effort and energy into making something happen, and it doesn't, and you get so upset and perturbed, and why isn't everyone following the instructions that you gave them to follow so that this would work out smoothly? Look and see that the trickster is at work, and your heart is in complete agreement to help you to realize this is not about making something happen. This is really about allowing yourself to be. And in being, you'll find that how you are with your being is going to help you in connecting to your heart and to other hearts. What my heart is saying is it really comes down to the simple things. the things that we love to do and we love to do together. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's have a meal together. Let's pray together. Let's toast the blessing of the day together. Let us see that the rituals that we are drawn to and act through time after time after time are rituals that are created and sustained by the heart, because it uses these times to connect through the simplicity of life that reveals the genuineness of who we are and who we are together. And going back to the heartbeat, it is vibrating that energy that contains the information of our soul. It is vibrating that energy that carries with it all of the chaos of our life. And it is carrying with it that energy of the meaning of our life, brought to a place of simplistic ritual interacting that are our personal involvement in living love together. Cheers. Cheers. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.